Welcome back.
Hello,
Did
hello,
y'all miss
hello.
Y'all missed us? We missed y'all.
Well, it is Wednesday, and we are going to welcome you back to Nursing You Back to Life.
What's up?
And today, Our Lady here got the topic.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a drum roll?
I do it.
Today we're gonna with the boom bop bip on the end. Okay. Tonight we're gonna talk about grief and what that means.
Okay.
Maybe some stages
Okay.
and how do you deal with it?
Okay.
Do you recognize it?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you could grieve in a way that you don't even know that you're grieving.
Yeah.
So, what y'all think about grief first? What is your outlook on grief?
It's just.
So I have had someone pass away close to me, and I'm almost certain the way I grieved wasn't the right way, but I just kind of secluded myself from a lot of people, and I worked a lot to, I guess, fulfill the hurt, fulfill the pain that I was going through, and it wasn't really anything that anybody could have said to me during that time. So I felt safe at work, where people weren't asking me a whole bunch of questions.
I know.
Right. And I didn't have to answer.
Right. I think I had went through some stuff like that too with grief. I actually found out that my grandmother died at work. They called me at work, and I had to rush out of work when they told me they had the home health nurse had came to the house and couldn't get in the room to her because she always locked her room at night. When everybody left, she locked the room. Never allowed them to go out. And she said usually the home health nurse usually said that she can come there and yell her name and she would get up and come open the door. But this day she didn't get up and come open the door. So they found out that she had passed away that day. And I worked too. But I think my reason of working was to try and not necessarily forget, but it was a distraction. It kept me busy.
Yeah.
The busier I was, I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
So I definitely did a lot of avoiding. That was my way of grieving. Was it healthy? Not too much, because when I found myself screaming, crying
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I would hear stuff.
Yeah.
But let me ask y'all this, because I'm going to tell my story in a minute. But
Okay.
before we get too deep into death and grief, grief is just a reaction to loss.
Right.
So, it's not just death.
Correct.
It can be a miscarriage. It could be a loss of a job.
A divorce.
It could be a divorce. It could be your best friend betraying you, and you really just love the crap out of that person, and they did you so bad that it really hurt you. So, I'll tell my story. I lost my mom a few months ago, and when I left her in the morning, she was fine. By the time I got back in the evening, she was gone. I am grieving. I think that I skipped a couple of these steps. There are 5 steps to grief. The first one is denial. Well, in my case, I couldn't deny what was happening. It just happened. I think that if it would have happened another way, I would have definitely been in denial for a very long time. The second is anger. I could not be angry. I don't understand. I still don't understand. But I'm not mad. Because I have a deeper faith. So for me, she's straight. It's me. I got to go through the loss because I lost her.
Right.
And then it's bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I can't bargain with anything. I left my mom. I came home. She was gone. I can't ask for her back because that's like torture because that'll never happen. So it's kind of like I've been running and running, but even in the midst of that, it's still I have to accept what it is. So that's that part, y'all.
Okay.
But then I have also lost friends. I have also started things and failed. I have also got in a car accident not to my fault and lost the whole car.
Right.
And I've been misplaced. I've made decisions that wound up having me behind the ball and I lost some things. Grief is tricky.
Yes, it is. It is.
Because if you're strong, you can be torn on the inside and appear okay.
You're right.
I think that's part of the grief, though. Portraying that you're strong on the outside to try and cope.
But then what about those people who go through loss? Because I know some people who've lost their parents and they just can't
Get it together. Seem to get it back together.
They just can't. They just can't. And it's been years. I know a close friend of my mom's whose child is an adult when they lost their parent, but she transitioned years ago. And the daughter, I ran into her like 3 or 4 days after I lost my mom, and she was like, you know, I really don't understand how you're moving. And I'm like, you know, really it's bigger than me and I gotta keep on going. And she said to me, she hasn't moved since her mom transitioned. With that being said, y'all, we talking about 12 years that this woman is stuck and she's drinking and she can't seem to get it together. So I don't know if that's the grief.
I think at that point that change turns into
depression or something. It gotta be something
else.
Absolutely.
Or that's not grief anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the last stage of grief,
it's
it's acceptance.
Right.
But what if she's stuck on the anger and the bargaining?
You can be.
What if she's
Or the
stuck?
depression.
You can be.
Or she's stuck on the depression. She never made it to the acceptance.
To the acceptance.
You can be, because there are stages and
Yes.
you gotta go through one stage to get through the other. I remember bargaining.
Lord, please, if you please.
No, with my nephew had wound up getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
And I was little though. I mean, I wasn't that little. I was younger. I was in my early 20s. And I remember saying, oh God, please, if you bring him back, you can take me. You don't have to take him like that. He was just a little kid. And it sounds stupid, but you just don't know what else to do. I didn't even know I was going through any of them stages right then.
Right. Because you just made me reflect to when I lost my grandma when I was 15. I literally went through those stages, and because I'm so strong, I didn't talk about it. So then it just turned me harder. And
I don't even know if I've had anybody to talk to about it. Because that's something else too. Sometimes we grieve and go through things and we ain't got nobody to talk to.
Or we won't.
Because if I did have somebody to talk to, I probably wouldn't have, because that's just kind of how I am.
because you're
Sometimes I
strong,
shut
and that's
down.
how you built, yo.
And it's crazy because when you said about divorce, I definitely went through every
I think I did too.
step.
Because it's a loss.
And remember, we was talking and I said it actually took me 3 years
To get through.
to get through.
Yeah.
3 years it took me to just get my mind right and accept
That this
and
is
move
what it
on,
is.
and this is what it is.
Right. Especially if
3
you guys
years.
have been
So
together
that's why I
for a
felt it
long
was
time.
important to touch that it's not just death.
It's not just that.
It's not just
I'm glad
death.
you said that. That was that. I'm glad you
It's
said
Even
that.
separations.
Like separations, yes.
Child.
Look, you think that you're doing the right thing with raising your kid and they do the wrong thing. Now you grieving because the kid done ran, now you running the streets, or he's whatever, or she
they
is whatever.
locked up.
You know, anything. It's just, if you're human, you want to grieve. You gotta find a way to deal with it, or find a way to talk about it, and find a way to accept it.
Mm-hmm. And even if you can't talk about it, sometimes the best thing to do is write it down.
Write it down.
My another nephew of mine, he was an adult though. He wound up getting diagnosed with schizophrenia,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole time he was going through his change. You know, you hit that mental break. It's like 20, like between 18 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
They hit that first psychotic break, and he went through that by himself.
Mm.
You know, I remember talking to my aunt, and nobody really knew that he was going through that, and he killed himself.
Mm-hmm. And it'll make you do that. Mm-hmm. It will. And mental illness is real.
It is.
And that's another level of loss and grief. No, that's another level of loss and grief. But could you imagine, just listen to this, just imagine your nephew for at least 18, we'll say 17 years just to give the benefit of the doubt. For the first 17 years, he was like everybody else. Then out the clear blue sky, here I am, and I know what's right and wrong, but I can't decipher, and I can't tell them because they're going to think I'm crazy.
Know what's going on.
So, wouldn't you consider him going through some type of grief? Because I can imagine, like, God, please, what the hell, what's going on? Help me.
He had grief of his mind. How about that?
Because he lost it.
What?
He lost it.
Grief is bigger than death.
It's bigger than death.
Pay attention, because if you can understand and identify what you're feeling, maybe it'll help you get closer to acceptance faster.
It's crazy. I was going through a divorce, and I wanted to move out of the house that we was in. But every place that I would go to see, I would have anxiety attacks. I would just because when you've been with someone and they've been your protector, and now you gotta go out
and take care of yourself.
I used to be like, and it was like self-sabotaging, like I can't, and I eventually did it, but every place I went to, it was something wrong with it.
Yeah.
It was something wrong with it, and I would break out in sweats.
Looks like one.
And that's what's crazy.
Let me tell you guys something. So when I lost my mom, it's funny that when you just said that, it made me just reflect real quick. When I had my mom as my protector and my backbone and my go-to and my everything, I would have anxiety on doing it my own. But as soon as she died, it felt like something clicked in me, and it was like, yo, you got all of it.
Yeah.
You got everything. Whatever you think you can do, go do it. You know what I'm saying? So
she gave you.
It depends.
She gave you the gift.
I don't know. I wasn't asking for it. I could have waited another 5-10 years. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful for the problem that didn't come, because then in 5 or 10 years, her life herself could have been so much worse because she was already older. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't asked for it, but I'm carrying it. That's it.
The acceptance part, though.
Yep.
Like, how do you accept it? Because I think
I'm not there.
My sister, I don't even know if there's a time on it, because I remember when my nephew died. He was 8 years old when he died. And my sister, I hated seeing her go through this. That's one of the strongest women in the world to me, because she has experienced so much stuff in her life, and having to deal with her son dying at 8 in front of her house. She didn't mess with his room.
Oh my goodness.
And she had a birthday party every year. I mean, full blown out cake, balloons, every year. That was her way of dealing with it. And she's crying. I used to feel so bad. I never knew what to do about it. But that was her way of accepting it. Everybody has their own way of trying to deal with the fact that their child isn't here, their mother isn't here, their husband, their sister, whatever. And what about the people who's close to you, watching you go through this? They grieving too, because they watching you go through this, and they have literally lost their, not physically, but emotionally, and that connection.
They lost their person.
You lost the person too. Like, what do those people do? Because I know I've been in a situation where I've had friends and families and who have experienced death, and what to do.
Neither do I.
Only thing you do is show up. That's it. You don't have to do much. I feel like most people that I know that lose anything, whether it is a death, a divorce, a miscarriage, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a best friend, a job. Most people that I know, they just want somebody to be around. Just to know that while I'm going through this, I have somebody, even the strongest ones that will never call and say, hey, I need you. So what I'm saying is, the only thing that you do is show up. It doesn't, the rest of it doesn't really matter, because whatever needs to be done when you're there will get done because you're there. But if you're a person like me, I'm never gonna call and say nothing to anybody. You gotta come check on me because I could be torn down.
Me too.
And if you don't check on me, or if you text, or if you just do, I'm gonna say I'm cool. I'm gonna say I'm cool. You gotta come look at me. You gotta check on me. Yeah, so
like you see me when you walk in the house.
What's up? You alright? Or hey, how you doing? How's your day? What's up? What's going on? You know, just a little mental check. And at the end of the day, you are in control of you. So how you grieve, how you respond to loss, because some people don't even know they grieving when they grieving. So how would they say, oh, this is how I grieve?
That part.
I definitely didn't know I was going through those stages.
I didn't.
But I knew after 3 years.
You felt better.
I did.
You felt
I
better.
accepted it.
Yeah.
You happy? Fine.
Yep.
I can move on.
Yep. But guess who you're choosing? When you choose to accept it, that means that I'm choosing me first.
Yep.
So I can't allow whatever the situation that has been removed from my life for whatever reason, because a loss is what?
A loss.
A loss. So it's gone.
It's gone.
So I'm going to use removed.
Yep.
Because I say that all things are in a divine order.
Right.
So whatever has been removed can no longer control my emotions, because I don't know about y'all, but when I be sad, I be eating, I get fat, I be crying, I can't think about nothing. I be trying to drive and work and be a good nurse, and next thing you know, my brain over here, and I'm thinking, and my anxiety up, and I'm looking around like I gotta go home. You know what I'm saying? So, no, that's just too much control over me. No. Not about something I can't change.
Not about something you can't change. That part. That's the part.
I can't change it.
That is the part.
So when you realize that, then the next thing you can do is accept it. So what now? What? Let's go.
I know. It's crazy that I didn't know I had a girlfriend who lost her son to gun violence, and I didn't know what to say. I did get with some other close friends, and we helped. We put some money together so that she wouldn't have to pay her bills. Like if she needed help with certain things, we got some money together so that she didn't have to worry about at least finances while she went through her grieving with her baby. And I used to be scared to talk to her because I didn't know what to say, and I'm like, what do I say to her?
It's because it's like, what is not, you're in this place, and it's like there's really nothing you can say to a person who has lost someone so close to them.
So
There's nothing you really can say to them.
And
then I don't be wanting to bring it up because I don't want to put them back into that circle of emotions.
Listen. Standing in my shoes, I'm a newborn. I'm walking. I'm not even walking. I'm still rolling on my back trying to figure this out, right? So ever since 2/28/21, I have had so many people tell me they never came to check up on me because they didn't know what to say. As if I done grew a second head and I changed who I am. As if they can choose for me what I can receive or what I can't. And most times, once they talk to me, they like, I can't believe that you're like this. Like, I was expecting something else. But because where I am in accepting it, I'm right here, I can receive you. You can even talk about your stuff to me, and I won't feel like you're being insensitive because I have to be normal. I know that it seems as if I should not be normal, but in order for me to get past it, I have to keep on going with what I have going on. So if we always talk about whatever, just call. Don't think about talking about my mom being dead. Because I don't want to hear that anyway. Right. But I do need somebody I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm not thinking about my mom being dead.
Right.
So with each scenario, you gotta see who that person is and meet them where they are, because you can't make the decision to say, oh, I don't want to talk, or I don't want to go, I don't want to reach out, I don't want to this, because I don't know what to say. Nobody don't know what to say. Shit, they probably don't know what to say to you. They probably feel bad that you calling them to talk about, you know what I'm saying, and check up on them, because I was feeling like I don't want nobody to have no sympathy for me. I want people, but naturally, if you care about the person that's going through, you're already going to feel a way.
Right.
But just treat me regular, like. I'm a little messed up, but
I was scared, and then I finally got the oomph to talk to her, and I told her why, and she was like, "It's all right, it's all right."
Yes.
Like,
and when you talked to her, what she was like me?
She was regular.
Cause she ain't growing her head.
Going all over these books, traveling, having a good time, getting it.
Man, I mean, listen,
it's what it is.
Yes, and even when you were going through your divorce, right?
Right.
There were times where you were sad and in a feeling and in a mood.
I know.
But for the most part, what you try to do for yourself is keep on going.
You have to.
For the most part. So with any loss, you gotta keep on going.
Yeah.
And everything needs to remain the same to keep me going.
Right. No, that makes sense.
When I went through my divorce and my separation, I felt like I stayed in the anger section.
Yeah, because
I moved.
No, you moved. No, you
I
moved.
think I moved. I did eventually move to the acceptance.
No, you moved.
part.
Yes, you moved. That's this right here. That's the home run.
Yeah, you done.
All the rest of the stuff, the anger, the denial, the bargaining.
I was in anger for a long time though.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it was the anger behind the principle.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the action. It
wasn't
was the
necessarily
principle.
the anger of
What
loss.
happened? Yes.
It wasn't necessarily the
It was
loss
how you
that
were
was
treated.
angry.
Okay.
Yes.
It was how you was treated.
It was the reason of the
Yes.
loss. I think I said
Oh,
angry
okay.
about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't understand how we
Can't
got here.
understand how we got here.
Yep.
That's part. And people say that when you go through a divorce, people try to. I don't understand when people have divorce parties. Like, you know, they have like divorce parties.
And they be excited about being
That's a
free and all that.
It's nothing easy
Fun. No.
and fun about getting a divorce.
No. Just let it be.
It's nothing easy and fun
right.
about that.
But you know,
No,
people
it's
say that about funerals as well. One of my close peoples, they just told me the other day, like, I can't, because my mom's birthday is next week, and I'm battling back and forth with, do I want to celebrate because I don't want to be sad, do I feel like so she like, celebrate. She ain't been dead, but and I can't see nobody celebrating no death, but for me, I'm celebrating life.
You celebrate her life.
Right.
You did already.
But there's
to celebrate.
but what
I think I just say my sister celebrated every year.
What she's saying is that they're dead.
Until she accepted it.
She said, you don't do
And
that.
she still go do stuff. Like, she don't do the whole blown out party like she used to, but she still go to his grave and we still go down there. She take pictures. Shoot, my sister take care of everybody's grave. For real, in the family. She does everybody. She is the person who does it.
I think people have to understand that people going to go through these stages and do all kinds of stuff.
But you have to, I think you can't stop them.
Yeah, there's no right.
You gotta let them go through the motion. I think that's the number one thing that you can't do. Like, you can't stop them from going through the motion of what they trying to do. You just gotta let them go.
If you want to have a party, if you want to have a party, have a party. Party. Okay? Party. It's just party.
I mean,
Party. Okay?
I ain't get as far that. I mean, it's nothing.
You just haven't made a decision.
I have not made a decision.
I mean, and you don't have to even do all of that. If you don't want to be bothered, or if you do want people around you because you don't want to be alone at that time, you don't have to do all of that. Sometimes if you just want to go to that grave site and lay on that grave.
Well, my mom doesn't have one.
She's
She's done at the University of
Well, she just
Penn.
did. Oh, yeah. Oh, she got donated.
Yes, my mom was donated. I donated her body to science. If anybody loves medical anything, yo, I'm telling you, go to Gifts for Humanity, sign up and let them take your body and do some research because we need it. We need live cadavers. No, you do. You need. I mean, not cadavers, but real cadavers, not live. My bad. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Me, take me.
Yeah, no. But we need real cadavers.
Let's go in the back.
No, don't start slicing.
Let's go in the back.
Sell like an organ and shit on the black market. Like, what is going on, sir? Wait.
But
whatever you do, we okay with it.
Right.
Party, we there.
Absolutely,
If
but
you don't want
whatever
to,
you
then
get, but that's the part though.
whatever
You want to do.
But that goes to, you just gotta let them feel and do and express so they can get it on up and get it on out. Even with I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I can kind of understand a divorce party if you was in a relationship for so many years and you felt as though you were suppressed and whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm free. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, for 17 years, as long as these, because most people, they think that if you stay together for the children until they get old enough to go away to college or whatever, that they don't understand that your marriage is not right. So most women, a lot of women stay until the kids get a certain age.
So that's why they had the party.
Now they having a party because for all of these years I've been 40
years I dealt with that.
I bet you I won't be old after I get outside.
But now
I bet you I won't be.
I'm not waiting till I get old and
Well, no, I ain't. I'm not agreeing with it, but that is.
I'm not agreeing with it either, and I hope we live and last forever. But meanwhile, I'm not waiting till I'm old. That's out.
I know, they be in their 50s, like, all right,
Not even
it's
50
over.
older.
You
50 ain't old. I mean, like,
it's not old, but they stay together all that time.
If they 50.
and they 50, that's about the right age, though. If the kids is grown and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now we having a party. I ain't got no kids and I ain't got no man.
be like,
I ain't got wash
no kids. I got no kids and no man.
I don't.
Be like, Stella got a room back.
smoking.
What's his name? Winston. Okay, don't leave Winston out there.
You go to Jamaica and get you a Winston?
I ain't even getting divorced. I'm going to jail.
Well, how about that?
I don't know what y'all talking about. I ain't going because I'm not suffering that loss till death. That's what we said. I got it on the video.
So that was part.
That's what the people said. I ain't.
That's what listen, that's cool. I'm cool with that. Whatever you want. You see, whatever you want, I'm cool with. I'm cool with. So, I guess there's no right or wrong way to grieve.
And there's no right or wrong thing.
There is no wrong way. If you're hurting yourself,
yes,
then that's the wrong way.
Yes,
that's true.
Like,
because people do get addicted.
Some people be cutting themselves, and
yes, they
what
do.
part is that? Let me see.
even if you're
depression.
even if you're doing like drugs and stuff and drinking to the point that you're falling down drunk and hurting yourself, that's not the right way to do it either.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't be wanting to hurt yourself.
Because listen to this.
Or be drinking like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day,
That's the right.
you can't tell how to cope with the loss.
But if it's coming to the point, I'm not saying that you can't drink or smoke or pop pills or do whatever. But when it comes to the point of you're hurting yourself while you're doing it, then
you need some help.
Then you pushing it a little bit. That's what I'm saying. People cope the way they cope. Shit, people cope on a regular day, and it ain't got nothing to do with nobody. So, like, I ain't even talking about that.
They drink a fifth anyway.
Shoot. So.
But in real life, y'all, do y'all think that the underlying factor in those people that we think do that every day just because that is not a coping mechanism?
It's definitely a coping mechanism.
It's
definitely a coping mechanism of something.
Would you consider not having your parents a loss?
Yes.
Yes. It is a loss. Absolutely.
Yes.
I was going to say that in the very beginning, but I went to the divorce, but it's crazy because I always wanted my mom when I was with my godmother. I always wanted my mom. It didn't matter what
that
my godmother
shit hurt you
did.
so bad.
I always wanted my mom.
It could, and let me tell y'all, I love my mom, but I always wanted my mother.
Yes.
I remember, like, cause I was the only child, so then I'd be bored and lonely and all this kind of shit, right? I remember I wrote her a letter and I put it underneath the thing. I called myself running away. I don't know what happened. I was whatever, but in the letter, it basically told her like how a nigga will break up with you, like it's not you, it's me, it's these guys. But I'm like, nah, yeah, because even when I found my mother. I cried for hours because I didn't want her to ever feel as though it was undeserved because of how bad I wanted my mother. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yes, absolutely. That is, I can understand.
What about something happening to you as a child and you losing your childhood?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know a few women.
I know a few men. I know a few men.
No, let's not just say
I only know a few women.
I know a few men. I know a few men. Yes. And you know what?
And they lost their childhood.
And they lost their childhood to a cousin, to an uncle. Yes. And some of them will never talk about it.
Never.
And then others have said, you know what, that did happen to me, but I was a kid. But they also have addictions behind it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a loss, and they're not coping well.
Jesus.
That's
deeper.
No, but when you start talking about loss,
when you talk about loss,
grief and loss.
That's true.
That's a grief. That's something to grieve.
That's true.
Their childhood.
And they
and then it got
stuck in these stages.
And real easy because they're kids.
Yep, they get stuck.
And then denial goes with the anger, then the anger goes with the depression, and we never get to acceptance. Or even the bargaining with God.
Some things you just can't accept.
You have to.
You have to, but you don't.
Yeah.
No, but you do have no. Let me just say this. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
You have to accept it. You don't have to agree.
Exactly.
You have to accept it
that
because
it happens.
you can't change it. That does not mean that you have to like it. Exactly. That doesn't mean you have to agree with what it is. It just means that, okay, this is this, now what?
Mm-hmm. That's hard for a lot of people because I'm almost certain, I've never been, raped or anything like that, but I'm almost certain they get stuck in that. And they don't want to accept it because they was a child.
But then that's when that's when yep. Or that's when the nursing you back to life comes in because we are here saying it's okay.
It is.
It's alright to accept it. Mm-hmm. It's alright that it happened. It's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. That it happened. But it's okay because you couldn't control it. You didn't ask for it.
Right.
That is why we do this, y'all, because on so many levels, everything that we've talked about, if you really get to the root of it, something happened to make a person feel, react, or not react a certain way. So somewhere they lost something, whether it was a piece of them, whether someone took something from them, or someone transitioned. Something happened. And how they're grieving, we trying to figure out, was y'all grieving right or what's up? Because we got to get to the acceptance part.
We got to
get there. We can't stay stuck in those other four. They're natural for you to go through.
Right.
But you can't stay there. You got to keep on going because if you don't, you're going to be
trapped for a long
time.
And you got to be able to move forward with your life.
You have to be able to move forward because what is behind that movement of moving forward is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get past it. You don't have to agree with it. We're not saying that. We're not saying whatever anything happened was right.
Right.
It definitely wasn't right.
Right.
But what it is that you have to accept that it happened and move forward.
Right.
Whatever the grief is, if it's a loss, you lost your parent, your mom, your dad, your sister, your job, you got a divorce, your husband, your money. If you had a big loss, a big amount of money, your house, anything.
Set yourself free because when you don't accept it, you just live in it over and over and over again. So set yourself free so that you could move forward with your life.
And live the life you're supposed to live.
That's right. Be the person you're supposed to be.
And be the person you're supposed to be.
So,
That sounds like it right there. That's it.
So,
That's it.
so on that note,
We will see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, repost.